Repeating the same mistakes doesn't mean you're unaware. It means you're caught in a pattern you don't recognize. Most people assume mistakes repeat because they didn't try hard enough, or because they failed to learn the lesson the first time. So they promise themselves they'll do better next time. They rely on intention, motivation, or self-control. And yet, the same outcomes return. Different situations, same results. Hermetic philosophy offers a more precise explanation, one that has nothing to do with intelligence or effort. It explains repetition through the law of cause and effect. This law states that nothing happens randomly. Every outcome is the result of prior causes, whether conscious or not. What most people call a mistake is usually the visible effect of an invisible cause. Because the cause isn't addressed, the effect repeats. Most people focus only on outcomes. They try to fix behavior at the surface level. They change plans. They change environments. They change goals. But the internal causes remain untouched. Hermetic philosophy does not see mistakes as isolated events. It sees them as expressions of internal patterns, thought patterns, emotional reactions, unconscious assumptions. These patterns operate automatically. They don't require your permission. So even when you genuinely want a different result, the same inner causes quietly produce the same effects. This is why insight alone rarely breaks repetition. Understanding what went wrong is not the same as changing the cause. Think about how this plays out in real life. Someone resolves to stop procrastinating. They understand it costs them time and opportunity, but when pressure rises, they escape into distraction again. Another person promises they'll stop entering the same kind of relationship. They recognize the red flags, yet they're drawn back into the same dynamic, with a different face. From a Hermetic perspective, these are not failures of awareness. They are examples of unseen causation. The mind moves along familiar pathways. Emotions seek familiar resolutions. Until the cause changes, the effect must repeat. This is uncomfortable to accept, because it removes the comfort of randomness. It means outcomes are not unlucky. They are lawful, but this is also empowering, because what follows law can be altered through understanding. Hermetic philosophy teaches that most people live as effects. They react to circumstances instead of originating action. They believe they are choosing, while unseen causes are choosing for them. This is why repetition feels frustrating. You feel involved, but not in control. Breaking repetition begins with a shift in position. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen again?" you ask, "What state keeps producing this result?" This moves attention away from the event and toward the pattern behind it. Causes are not always dramatic. Often they are subtle. A habitual emotional response, a belief about effort, worth, or safety, an assumption you stopped questioning long ago. These causes don't announce themselves. They operate quietly beneath conscious thought. This is why willpower rarely fixes repetition. Willpower acts at the level of effect. Hermetic philosophy works at the level of cause. Change doesn't begin with forcing different behavior. It begins with observing what consistently precedes the outcome. What emotion appears just before the mistake? What belief justifies it? What internal state makes the behavior feel inevitable? This observation is not judgment. It's measurement. Once a cause is seen clearly, it loses some of its automatic power. This is mental transmutation in practice. Not denial, not suppression. Awareness applied at the correct level. Over time, as causes change, effects follow naturally. Not instantly, not dramatically, but consistently. Repetition fades not because you fought it, but because the mechanism producing it no longer exists. This is why Hermetic philosophy emphasizes responsibility, but not self-blame. You are not guilty for repeating patterns. You are operating under unseen causes. Freedom begins when you stop reacting to effects and start working where change is actually possible. Mistakes repeat only as long as their causes remain active. When the cause dissolves, the pattern ends, not through effort, but through understanding. If this clarified why certain patterns keep returning, the next video explains why letting go often feels like loss and how Hermetic mental transmutation reshapes that experience. It's linked here, and it completes this sequence.